The Huntingburg Chamber holds its annual luncheon, Jasper Police make an arrest related to a string of local burglaries, and sports with Kurt Gooksell. Those stories and much more are up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news at this hour, the Huntingburg Chamber of Commerce today held its annual Chamber of Commerce luncheon. Today's keynote speaker, Indiana Lieutenant Governor and DuBois County native Sue Ellspermann. Ellspermann describes her first term in office up to this point.
You can imagine it's been a little busy since we're in a budget session and with my responsibility to preside over the Senate. So we're finishing that part and then getting 5 agencies running smoothly and growing and doing the priorities of the administration.
Also at the Chamber dinner, this year's Golden Leaf Award was presented to Connie and Alan Noss. Connie Noss says it's a huge honor for the couple to be recognized in their hometown.
It's always harder to recognize someone who you're close to and who's in your community. So this is a very special honor, one that we appreciate very much.
Tune in to the WJTS News on Monday for more from the Huntingburg Chamber dinner. Also on a Huntingburg note, the Huntingburg Garden Gate Jazz, Art, Wine, and Craft Beer Festival is set to take place tomorrow at the Old Town Hall in Huntingburg. The art gallery will open at 10 a.m. and will feature art from Bill Pickle, designs by Dawn, SV Calligraphy, and Studio E. The wine and craft beer portion of the festival is set to start at 2 p.m. and will feature 9 wineries, including French Lick, Windy Knoll, and Mystique. Craft beer vendors set to be a part of the festival include Upland Brewery, Powerhouse Brewing Company, and Jasper-based Basket Case. Huntingburg Chamber Executive Director Nick Stevens says the event means so much to the Huntingburg community.
It's huge. The ability to bring people to downtown it's part of our Garden Gate weekend. It was a boost for the Garden Gate weekend for us. Encourage people to come out, shop downtown, come in and enjoy some refreshments, enjoy some jazz music, and it's amazing that it's an opportunity for us to showcase Huntingburg, so I'm really proud of it.
Jazz performances will also start at 2 p.m. and will feature Poco Loco from Cincinnati, Slammer Jazz of Indianapolis, and Jasper native Wade Baker in his jazz collaboration of Cincinnati. The Jasper High School Jazz Ensemble will perform in between bands. Jasper police have made an arrest in relation to a string of burglaries at Jasper residences earlier this month. 18-year-old Alex Plake of Jasper was arrested yesterday afternoon in connection with the burglaries. Plake is charged with 3 counts of burglary and 1 count of attempted burglary. The charges stem from an ongoing investigation by the Jasper Police and DuBois County Sheriff's Departments into robberies committed on April 2nd in the 1400 block of Dewey Street, April 5th in the 400 block of West 9th Street, and on April 11th in the 1400 block of Green Street, as well as an attempted burglary on April 2nd in the 2600 block of Brosmer Street. Police say items taken during the burglary spree included electronic devices, Xbox games, PlayStation 3 games, computers, TVs, jewelry, and cash. Plake was lodged in the DuBois County Security Center. Last night, the Southwest DuBois School Board discussed the impact of the Affordable Care Act on the corporation's bus drivers. Under the Affordable Care Act, any employee that works 30 or more hours per week is considered to be full-time, including bus drivers. The biggest area where the impact will be felt is during the summer for extra events. Southwest DuBois Assistant Superintendent and Transportation Director Chad Shank says the hours that bus drivers log driving for these trips does count towards the 30-hour per week full-time rule. He says the new law will force some changes in how much bus drivers work.
It's going to affect all of our drivers, certainly those who are aides with us, possibly substitute teachers for us, that those hours count towards their work week. We'll have to begin to think creatively and really possibly even contact other drivers outside of our school district that we typically aren't even aware of and work together as transportation directors in this area.
Shanks says bringing new drivers on board to work for the school corporation is a possibility with the new law going into effect. He describes the process to get one trained to become a bus driver for the corporation and says the process doesn't necessarily take a long period of time.
If you're really aggressive and you get behind the wheel of a bus and you take your CDL physical, which is the first step, passing that CDL physical, and then you take your CDL permit written test at the BMV branch, you bring those things to us, we can get you behind the wheel of a bus, get you that training and the drive time that's necessary, and then certainly you're going to want to do your pre-trip inspection, checklist, and then the driving test. That takes a little bit of time, but someone could do that probably in a couple weeks if they really were aggressive and did all of those things in that order.
If you are interested in bus driver training or know of someone who is, you or they can stop by the Southwest DuBois School offices at 113 North Jackson Street in Huntingburg to get an information packet, or call the school administrative office at 683-3971. Also last night, the board recognized the Students of the Month from schools throughout the corporation. This month's Students of the Month were 3rd grader Jordan Beal of Holland Elementary, 5th grader Sebastian Street for Huntingburg Elementary, 8th grader Braden Weebler for Southridge Middle School, and senior Cade Mundy for Southridge High School. Winners were chosen based on criteria that included academic performance, leadership, and character. Finally, last night, the board announced that Holland Elementary School has been recommended for accreditation through Advance Ed. Standards for such accreditation include purpose and direction, governance and leadership, and resource and support systems. Coming up after the break, a cooling pattern will be in place overnight, but warmer weather will return early next week. That ahead in your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform featuring Purdue Extension agent Ken Eck. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.